Honey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another week of Guys Bar Talking Sports. Thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday, and we use this as an excuse to get away from our wives, significant others, or just get out of the house to drink some beer and talk football. So thank you all for joining us. We're going to talk about some great sports this week. We got the Eagles and Commanders game. We're going to recap that. Chiefs versus the Bills. I do have the right notes this week, by the way, Cheeks. So anyway, thank you all for joining us. Another week looking at sports, the best sports, and it's the best sports show in the world, we'll call ourselves right now, because we got to aspire to that point, right?
I mean, name one that's better.
Yeah, no, I can't right now. Yeah, exactly.
Who's going to fight us?
Yeah, who's going to fight us? Because are they going to show up at our door and challenge us on this thing? I don't know. So we're going to go with, if we're just aspiring to that, you gotta put it into the universe, and it may happen. So thank you all for joining us for another week. We also are going to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl, but not too much, just because we got to have a show next week as well, and we got some Pro Bowl type thing going on next weekend, apparently. So, I mean, it's not the Pro Bowl anymore, it seems like to me. What is it, a flag football game? Yeah.
Semi-pro.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk about that for about 15 seconds at best, and we've already talked about it for 7. So, yeah, not too much about that. But then we got some other sports-related stuff that I wanted to bring up to the panel as well, just to see what people's thoughts are on certain things with NFL. We got some college basketball for you as well. So, yeah, another week looking at sports for the guys talking sports. If you like to join the conversation, you could do that. We do have the best Facebook group for sports, and that is Guys at the Bar Talking Sports Facebook group. So you could just type it in under groups under the search bar, and you'll find it. Also on TikTok and on Instagram if you want to look at the shenanigans that I like to post. And if you want to support the show because you really like what we're doing, go ahead and shoot us a Venmo to buy us a beer. You can buy us a round of beers. Or you know what? If you want to really invest in this thing, you can just send us as much money as you want. We don't care. We're not going to say no. I don't think. Will anyone here say no?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, there we go. So, but anyway, thank you all for joining us. Let's get some introductions going here. We have the Mountain Man. How you doing over there, West Virginia?
Good, buddy. Good.
Doing all right today?
Yeah.
All right. It's a little sad, I'm sure.
That sounds deflated.
No, I mean,
He's a Commanders fan, by the way.
yeah, I knew we weren't. I mean, the thing I'm disappointed about is how bad we played and what the final score was. But I mean, I'd be lying if I thought we were going into that game we were going to win.
Someone who is very happy, though, over there is Cheeks. She's even wearing a green shirt with an eagle on it, and it says Wawa on it.
I'm repping.
You're repping the Wawa/Eagles at the same time.
I am.
Amazing. I'm sure you're excited.
Because I can't wear my lucky shirt today.
Mm-hmm.
Can't throw off my luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
You even have your headphones decked out with Eagles. You got your microphone decked out with Eagles.
Is Eagles spelt right? Is it spelt?
I feel like you're an Eagles fan over there.
I might be.
All right. And then we also have my man himself, Chopper.
What is going on?
With his chompers over there drinking some water. How you doing today?
Oh, fantastic.
And what kind of fan are you?
Sports fan.
He's an SEC fan.
I love the SEC.
He loves
Who doesn't
the
love
SEC.
the SEC? Besides Mountain Man.
The best in football and the best in basketball.
They're the best in basketball. I'd stop
Basketball.
The best in basketball, undisputedly right now, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You can't argue.
Oh, yeah.
They've overtaken the ACC.
Definitely the best at being mediocre in football, I'd say.
But
The
I don't
best
know.
at being
but, you
not
know,
mediocre. Come on,
They're
man.
the best during the season, but the ACC always comes through in the tournament. So it's
well,
one
that's
of
what
those things.
Duke. I mean, Duke's all
That's right.
the tournament team.
Well, Duke,
right.
North Carolina, there's some good
Yeah.
some good teams
They're
there. I mean, not
definitely
this year, but
tournament
yeah, you have some good teams there. Wake Forest is even looking like crap, but all these teams that are typically pretty solid. NC State seemed like they were going to be looking pretty good, and then because last year they made it to the Final Four, right?
Yeah, they did. They made that. It was kind of a Cinderella run, right? Because
They were the Cinderella run.
They had to win the ACC to get into that tournament, if I ain't mistaken, and they did, right?
Yep. Yeah, they won the ACC, and then they made it through to the tournament. Yeah, with that big old dude.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was, but he's there now too.
Is he?
He's still there, yeah, because they were when I wasn't watching the show, I was listening to it, I was listening to one of the games, and I just heard them keep throwing his name out there, so he's still there.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of support behind that guy. I mean, I'm going to root for the fat guy on the court, to be honest with you. You know?
Yeah, but he wasn't. I mean, he was good. He was good though.
No, he was
His
good. I
size,
know.
He was pretty.
No, he was a big dude. I'm just saying. I'm gonna root for the guy that's yeah. So anyway, hey, let's go ahead and talk about these games from the last weekend, shall we? All right. So we had the Eagles and the Commanders. We're gonna talk about that one first. 55-23. Man, the lead up to this game, I think we all had mixed emotions last week on what was going to happen, except for one mixed emotions because most of us were saying, it's not going to be a blowout. And then we had one voice over there saying it's going to be a blowout. Yeah.
Although in the score looked like it was a blowout, but until the end there, Washington was keeping it close somehow. Even though even when it felt like a blowout, Washington was 1-2 scores away. They were keeping it close.
Well, here's what I'll say to that. And
It was 27-15 at halftime, and it was a manageable game.
it was
at halftime.
It was
absolutely.
It was 34-23.
Yep.
And we had the ball, and we started to move it, and we fumbled again. I mean, we spotted.
Was that the third fumble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, look, the Eagles were better. The Eagles deserved to win. But I will say, in my defense, that score is misleading because we gave you guys 4 extra possessions, and you scored on all 4 of them. I mean, that's a gift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 fumbles and 1 interception.
Yep.
Well, 5 turnovers then because we had that last 3 and out, or 4th and out. There's a turnover on downs. The game was over by then. But
Yeah.
So
I mean, you
that's-
had to go for it. Fourth
Yeah,
and-
yeah. I mean,
You had to go with 4.
but I mean, I'll be honest with you. The very opening kickoff, when I saw McCaffrey fumble the kickoff, even though he recovered his own, I was like, oh, this is not. I mean, every time you see that in a game, it's
Yeah.
never a good sign. And I don't know. I just we 18 plays to get 3 points, and then you guys score on 1 play. I just that sinking feeling that I'd worried about all day Sunday happened. I was like, this is not going to be good.
Well, and the guy that introduced us to that was Saquon Barkley.
That's right.
yeah,
That was an amazing run, 60 yards.
Oh yeah,
That was opening the game up.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
he was unstoppable. He had I think it was 113 yards on the ground and 16 yards. I think it was 16 yards per carry is what he had. And then AJ Brown was 16 yards per reception. I'm sorry, Saquon Barkley was not. He had 130 something yards running, and AJ Brown had an excellent game with 16 yards per reception. He had 96 yards passing. So
Saquon Barkley has always played well against us. Even with now, granted, this team is not the same team it was last year or the previous years when he was on the Giants, but there's just something about the burgundy and gold when he sees it. He has his best games when he plays us, and I don't know if we're scared to tackle him or we can't tackle him. I mean that first touchdown he scored it. I mean, he ran well, but boy, we just act like we didn't want to touch him. I mean, it was like
You're right.
Spinning off.
Yeah.
Breaking tackles. Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't want to take up all the time here. My team did get beat. It should be Cheeks over here having all the fun. But I will say, I am very happy and pleased and excited about the future of this team.
Yeah.
They got where they should not have been here. Based on what happened last year, they got a great rookie, good ownership, good GM, good coach. Kingsbury sticking around for another year to call plays. So, I mean, I'm excited. We'll just see what happens. And from there on, I'm happy now. So,
yeah, and question number 2 I had, or topic number 2 I had was give Jayden Daniels credit for the fact that he had an exceptional rookie season.
yeah,
I mean,
Did.
you
So
can't
this
ask
game,
for.
He was 29 for 48.
Well,
I mean, he didn't. It's
You
not
can
his
have
fault.
a bad game. I mean, you're
You
playing.
just don't want to have a bad game during the playoffs.
Yeah, you're playing a not a far superior team, but you're playing a team. We all agreed last week. Like when you look at it pound for pound, Eagles just had more talent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
and this ain't on Jayden Daniels. I mean, his
No.
stats look bad because we were in. I mean, when you get down by 3 scores, you start throwing the ball a lot. You get a lot of incompletions. I mean, hell, we had 4 drops, just outright drops. I mean, he was not the reason that
No,
at all.
He's going to be really good next year.
the last 5 minutes of that game, it was just them trying to do something with the ball. Not the last 5 minutes. It was the last 15 minutes of that game. Was them just trying to figure out how to get down the field, and he was able to get down the field some. And then they had fumble. Things were just happening that were just going wrong. I'm sure you're over there excited, Cheeks.
I'm thrilled to death. And the oddest thing is this whole season I've been on the edge of my seat because there's always been the ability for the other team to come back. And a couple times it's happened to them. But
Like we said, you guys weren't blowing people out every game.
no. But this game I was the most relaxed I've been all season.
Don't you love it when you're watching your team play and you're
Yeah.
not pulling your hair out, stressed? I mean,
Usually I am. You know, I'm
Yeah.
negative Nelly. But they also threw the ball, which is something they didn't do in the previous game. And I get the weather was bad, but it was nice to see.
and you were
Jalen
doubtful. Yeah, you were doubtful that they were going to be able to pass the ball
Yeah.
effectively, right?
Yeah. And I'm excited I know we're not talking about it yet, but I'm excited for the next round because we do have our running game down.
Yeah.
So our next game is going to have to focus mostly on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles are looking pretty good if they keep up what they were doing against the Commanders, but they're playing a much different team in the Commanders, and we're going to talk about that next week. They're playing a much different team than the Chiefs. Sorry.
We also need a new kicker. I believe Elliott's just aged out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Well, he was in the Super Bowl in 2018.
Okay.
He was with us through the 2017 season, and that was when he kicked the 62-yard field goal. I can't even get him to do a 43-yard one now.
Kicking's been an issue in the NFL. I mean,
Yeah, except for the Chiefs.
well, I don't know about that. I mean, the Chiefs have had some kicking issues too. They're
Well, Bucker was hurt.
Bucker's gone, and I think
Yeah.
they went through a couple themselves.
No, he's
so-
still there.
but he was hurt for most.
He
of
was
the
hurt, yeah, most of the season.
But I'm saying everyone's had problems with kickers. Elliott's a good kicker. I mean, I mean, he's
missed at least one field goal or one extra point or a combination of both every single game since I think October.
I mean,
That's rough, man.
That is rough.
Yeah, that's something that needs to go for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, can you win a Super Bowl that way? I mean, as long
No,
as your
not when
offense
we're
is-
playing the Chiefs.
Yeah, as long as it's gonna be tough.
I mean, he don't have to kick against the refs, so I don't know if it really matters or not.
There's the first one. Do we have to take a drink every time we bring up the ref?
You,
I could go get the shots if you want. I don't mind.
I think I heard complaint number 1.
Oh yeah, hold on. Complaint number 1. This is a no complaint zone.
Big baby.
That is our latest stupid thing.
It was not a complaint; it was an observation.
An observation. All right. Well, we're not going to do a no observation zone. All right, but we will do a no complaint zone tonight.
Hey, the Super Bowl's indoors, so Elliott. I mean, it's a better chance for him to make kicks in the Super Bowl.
There's a lot of factors that go into kicking that are not on the kicker
Right.
as well too.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of factors.
He learned that because his son was kicking at the high school and trying to
There's a
teach him what
lot.
to
There's a
do.
lot.
There's like 100 things that are happening all at one
now
time.
the kicker gets all the credit.
Yeah.
When everything goes right.
gets all the blame.
But there's a lot that has to go right for the kicker to get it right.
Special teams is as important as anything.
When it goes wrong, the kicker's got to take all the blame. But snap has to be perfect. The hold has to be perfect.
The blocking
timing
up
has
front.
to be perfect. The blocking has to be perfect. The outside elements have to be. There's a lot that goes into that ball going in. Then just make the kicker making contact with the ball.
Now in the NFL, they get it right almost 100% of the time. Obviously, it's not high school ball, but still, it's. I guess if you age out, you age out. I mean, it's just what it is, right?
Yep.
What was the biggest highlight for this game for you then, Sheiks? What were you thinking when you were? I mean, overall,
The highlight for me was the fact that I got to laugh so much in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When you have number 4 going over the top and over the top. I thought we were watching a replay the second time he did it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe he did it again.
Okay. Yeah.
They got called on encroachment 3 times. Mm-hmm. And the ref even came out and said, "You do it one more time, we're awarding the score."
Oh wow.
I mean,
something they've never done since 1942 when the rule was made.
I'll argue this, and yeah, I mean, Louvu was just doing whatever he could do, but that tush push. I mean, there's some elements of that tush push that needs to be changed.
You're right.
I mean, it's very.
Says
I mean,
the people that lose.
No.
That's all. The timing has to be right. And so he was trying to time
He
that
was trying
jump.
to time. I mean, and it's on the goal line.
Yeah.
So thinking of it is like, well, I mean, you're gonna move it an inch every time I do this. I mean, granted, I don't think anybody knew about we just gonna give you a score. I'm sure Frankie Louvu and none of those guys knew that. I bet Dan Quinn didn't even know that, right? So obviously we just sit there and took it. But the tush, look, I have been saying this for a couple years now. This has nothing to do with what happened on Sunday. That tush push, they got to review that.
It's a dangerous position to be in, first of all, right?
The tush push is, I mean, when something works 99.9% of the time, it's a competitive disadvantage.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Now, why don't other teams do it? I don't know. Buffalo proved, I don't want to get ahead of it. Buffalo proved they couldn't do it. They didn't know how to do it. I mean, the Eagles got it down. It's just there's some things about it.
Jalen's got an injured knee.
Yeah.
And both of the centers were injured. One had a knee problem. The other one had a back problem.
But as you saw, it
So- and they
didn't
still
matter.
did it. Yeah.
Didn't matter. I mean, it works.
It's amazing how viral those clips went because my daughter comes up to me in the morning after the Super Bowl. She's like, or no, it was in the afternoon after the Super Bowl. She's like, "Hey, Dad, what happened with that guy jumping over the pile?" I'm just like, she wanted to ask me about that. And I'm like, "You saw that in your TikTok feed?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "How often do you see sports in your TikTok feed?" She says, "Never." So I mean, but
it was funny.
It went viral.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was. I mean, that's what you call true desperation. They were just trying to time it. But
no, you time it right, and you could lay someone out for sure.
There is a famous clip of Troy Polamalu timing one out and taking the ball right out of Drew Flacco's hand.
If you time it just right, it's money.
It worked.
But that's the only way you can stop it.
Now I can pull it up and show you after this is over with. There was 2 times that Jalen Hurts pulled back. To me, that's false start. He pulled back. He did the old phantom pullback.
But hey,
the second time Luvu jumped, he pulled back. And I'm like,
ball's got to move though.
well, no, the quarterback can't. I mean, the quarterback can't
the quarterback can't start doing stuff.
No,
Yeah.
and he only did it on the second time Luvu went over.
Sure.
But there was no call there, and again, I'm not raining on your parade.
I probably would have pulled back too because I would have been afraid that he would be on me the second because he hit Jalen the first time.
I mean, all I know. I mean, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny, but they got. I mean, at that point,
an NFL linebacker.
You do what you got to do.
You're gonna move back.
Yeah,
right.
Especially Luvu, he'll hit you pretty hard.
Jayden Daniels, you think the future is going to be bright for that guy?
Oh, for sure.
I do. I do.
I mean, barring injury.
Yeah, barring injury. Okay.
Or changing any of their lineup if they keep the
Well,
team
they
the way it is.
they got to keep. They have got some. I mean, come on, you watch the same game I watch. They've got some holes.
He is he's very comfortable out
Yes.
there. He's very comfortable out there.
He
and
needs
he's,
another
he's
receiver.
Fun. He's fun to watch.
he does need
and
another
he give him some weapons around him. He's gonna be dangerous.
I mean, he did play college
agree.
football for like 24 years, and then he went to he's 24 years old, so
Yeah.
he was in college football a little bit longer than most of these guys, right?
Yeah,
so he's mature,
Sure.
ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, he
Has taken a lot of snaps in college football,
Sure.
and now he's performing well in the NFL.
well, he started as a freshman at Arizona State. No, he wasn't a true freshman. I guess redshirt freshman or whatever. But
Did he go to Washington State and then over to LSU?
no, he
or-
went from Arizona State to LSU.
Oh, he did. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
He played 2 years at Arizona State and
I must be thinking about
2
something
years
else.
at LSU or 1 year at LSU. I feel like he only played one.
No, he was only there at one year.
yeah,
Yeah.
so he only played 3 years of college ball then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
My other highlight from the game was listening to all the sportscasters afterwards being wrong about their predictions.
Yeah. I mean,
And the trash they talked about the Eagles.
we're the only sports show that'll announce when we're wrong and when we're right. So you
Yeah.
know, everyone else will never do that. You know.
Right.
Did they all pick Did they all pick Washington to win?
So many did. Like Michael
Really?
Strahan did, Terry Bradshaw did.
That's ridiculous. Really?
It must have been hard for Jimmy Johnson to pick the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's a
he
different
did. He
story.
did
Yeah.
pick the Eagles.
Yeah.
He and Howie Long did.
Yeah, because those two know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
The other two are like, it's easy for them to say, "See, I told you. Look, I went on the limb and I picked the command." I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
Who were the announcers on that game? Because I heard a lot of complaints with the
Tom
announcers
Brady.
this
Tom
week as
Brady.
well.
Tom
Was
Brady.
it Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, people don't like him when he's announcing, do they?
he you remember that first year Romo? That first year Romo did it and how overbearing he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do the whole, this is what I would do, and this is what I would have done, and this is what I would have done, and I would have done this, and why did he do that? Because I would have done that shit drives me crazy.
Yeah, Brady's was more. He wasn't as loud and boisterous as Romo, but he just wouldn't shut up. It was just nonstop
Well,
talk.
he also put down Nick Foles.
I mean, he's got to get over that. Nick.
Yeah,
I mean, gotta
and
get over that.
and he after he was bad mouthing Nick Foles, he said the only reason I say these things is because I'm just jealous.
Which is BS. Tom Brady, what's he got to be jealous of Nick Foles? Nick Foles got one Super Bowl.
Well, and he said it's because of the Philly special.
Yeah.
He said I can't catch it in the end zone.
Tom Brady's he's just so competitive and
Yeah.
so bitter
Always.
that he. I mean, I'm sure when he sees Eli Manning,
He's
he wants
not
to throw up.
bitter.
Oh, bull!
He's not bitter.
He's competitive. There's
He's
nothing wrong with that.
competitive, yeah.
He lost to Nick Foles was a third string quarterback
Yes, he was.
and won and beat them in the Super Bowl and outplayed him. By the way, I think he
You're
threw
right.
for like
Yeah.
500 yards.
Yeah.
Was that
Right.
the 20? What was
I don't know what year
that
it
was
was.
2018. So it was the
2018, yeah.
2017 season.
I didn't watch it.
2018.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that Super Bowl. But
You didn't?
I did. I
That's the
enjoyed
one
it.
Super Bowl you didn't watch? Because you
No,
watched
I-
every one of them since like 1964.
no, I haven't really watched thoroughly. Probably the last 15, to be honest with you.
That was enjoyable.
Really?
I just got sick of the Patriots early on. And,
Oh, please. I love the Patriots. And
Sounds familiar,
Can't complain
Mountain
about
Man.
oh, stop it!
Mountain Man doesn't like winners.
he does not like winners.
Not
Now
consistent
we
winners.
figured it out. He does not like winners because he's
You're a winner,
all against the
Mountain Man
Chiefs.
doesn't like you.
Can't stand
You
the
know,
Chiefs.
I was not going to come in here and talk about the refs and complain about the Chiefs. I wasn't. I was going to be a big boy. and
This
not
is a
say
no
anything.
complaint zone.
Mhm, well, you're pushing me there right now. Laugh it up, Cheeks, because your team's going to get beat on a bad call. You wait and see. You're going to be sitting here in 3 weeks. You're going to be like,
Crying.
that was a first down. That was a first down.
Hey.
The refs.
The refs are already meeting right now, Mountain Man,
They are.
to figure it out. How can we make Mountain Man mad?
The only thing
They're actually in consultation
Yeah,
right now.
they're totally
right now
like,
with the
buddy,
Chiefs.
Like if this situation happens, how are we going to make it?
I am one of millions who feels this way right now.
This
Oh
is-
yeah,
this
there
is
are a lot
not
of people
just-
that are.
no,
This ain't
but
just
there-
bitter old Commanders fan.
I am one of millions that don't think that. And there's more of us.
Oh, I think there's a
Mahomes
lot
is-
more against them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mahomes is telling the refs right now, he's like, I'm going to run towards the 30-yard line and I'm going to slow down and get hit, and then you're going to call it, all right? So that's going to be the first play of the game. That's going to be the play.
It's a total conspiracy.
It is.
They were showing a clip on the Facebook Reels, and it was the equipment manager and his team with the carts filled with all the equipment, but they're in giant bags, and they said, bringing the money out to the refs.
All right, let's hop into this Bills versus Chiefs game, shall we?
Fake
So
news.
32-29, Chiefs beat the Bills. Man, if you look statistically at this game, it is dead freaking even.
Yeah,
Cheeks,
the
you
whole
got
thing
those
was
written
even.
down
I
on
do.
there?
I have everything.
Yeah,
That
like
was a
the
great
Bills.
game.
The Bills had just over 300 and like 80 yards, and then the Chiefs had like 390 yards, and then it was for the running, it was like almost identical. Passing almost identical. I mean, the only turnover was a fumble by the Chiefs. I mean, this was a good football game.
And Buffalo kind of grinded it out. I think style points go to the Chiefs. I mean, they looked like the better team.
I feel like
Buffalo was kind of Buffalo was staying in the grind with them though.
Yeah, there
the
was a
whole
couple
game.
times I was ready to count Buffalo out, and they still
They grind.
They would
were
get a
grinding.
drive.
they were on their
Buffalo's
heels,
grinding.
but I felt like they were on their heels the entire game.
Absolutely, they were on. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I mean, when they got up 10-7, I felt, boy, they look good, and then the Chiefs come back and smack them in the mouth, and it's like,
Yeah,
here we go again.
literally
you know?
next drive they come back and throw 7 points up.
Yeah.
And it's to me when I'm watching that game, I'm just like the Bills were playing good. They were playing good enough to keep up, but you knew the way that the game was going, like the Bills, they were not getting after Mahomes the way that they could have.
no.
The way they are depleted on defense, but there was no rushing. There was no pass rush
And the
whatsoever on the
Chiefs were
Bills.
clicking
So much
on all
more.
cylinders.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
I mean, it was pretty obvious.
They were all
they were clicking
over
on all cylinders.
Yeah, they were at a pass rush going like a mother,
Yep.
and on the offense they were playing just fine. You know,
They wanted that game, and so did Buffalo. Buffalo stayed in there, hung in there with them the whole game.
I mean, the Buffalo.
game.
I'm in awe of Buffalo because I don't feel like they have. I mean, outside of Josh Allen, I don't. I mean, he single-handedly keeps them in it. You know
You're
what I
right.
mean?
You're right.
he does.
I mean, Mahomes is special, but Worthy. I mean, the way that Andy Reid has that offense set up, guys like Worthy and Pacheco, and even bringing in
Worthy is so fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
OMG.
I'm saying as long as you've got speed
mean,
and guys that Mahomes can get the ball to, that offense is going to click.
Yeah,
On all
and,
cylinders.
and the play calling's good.
Yeah, no,
Right,
yeah.
the play calling's good to get a guy like Worthy in space.
Well,
Oh yeah,
Just let him go. I mean,
he's like 3
speaking
kills.
of Worthy, I saw a different angle on that one catch, and that Worthy catch didn't look like a Worthy catch.
It wasn't a catch. It wasn't a catch.
and they gave it to him.
Yeah, well, here's the problem with that. So it was still a first down anyway because of the penalty, but they got the 30 extra yards because of the catch that shouldn't have been a catch.
Correct.
So again, we can play again, I was anti-hypothetical during college football with the SEC team, so I can't play hypotheticals now. Well, the Chiefs might not have scored a touchdown there, but
Well,
it was a
I mean,
gift.
they
was.
they might have. Maybe they would have kicked a field goal and the Chiefs.
I know,
would've-
that's what I'm saying.
And then the Chiefs would have run a touchdown back on the kickoff.
I mean, and I said this the other night.
just don't know.
I said this the other night in our chat that two things can be true. One, you can have a problem with the way the refs were officiating, and two, the Chiefs are a good team. You
they are.
cannot take that. They're not accidentally here. They are a good team.
and
They are.
and we say this game, but none of these games do the refs get it right all the time. There's no game.
No, but it feels like the refs really mess up key moments.
Well, I think it's because everybody's looking at that and the spotlight's on that. If the spotlight, if you were to look at the other games, I think you would see the same.
But I'm not going to dwell. I mean, the Chiefs are just. I mean, defensively they are sound. Offensively, they have enough players. I mean, they don't have anybody. I mean, Kelsey's lost a step. I think he's not the same dynamic.
Holy cow! What
Kelsey.
happened to him on Sunday?
I mean, he's been like that all year. He's kind of been.
He's been slow all year.
He was setting picks for Worthy.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're the Lakers.
What I'm saying is 5 years
he
ago,
was setting picks for Worthy.
5 years ago, 4th and 2, 3rd and 5, you knew it was going to Kelsey. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
That ain't happening anymore.
he's been
Yeah.
out partying.
Well, he's got some time. He's got some age on him a little bit too, and he has been living a different lifestyle now.
Yes.
I'm not going to question whether he loves the game anymore.
That
but he's not-
paparazzi is all over him.
He's not the same guy he was.
Yeah.
Well,
lost
what's
his
the
step.
chances of him going another year?
No, he'll play again. He'll play
think?
next
I mean,
year.
why
yeah.
would you? I guess at this point, either you go out a winner or you just keep going until it ends. I mean,
Until your body breaks down?
no, because this team. I mean, this team feels like the new New England Patriots. It's like they could keep on going doing this.
Well, they could, but can he?
But see, Gronkowski left before Brady did.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Jordan came
And I
back.
think, and definitely,
Mahomes is
definitely,
younger.
definitely, he's going to leave.
I mean,
before
Gronk-
Mahomes
yeah.
does, right?
The only reason why Gronk came back to Tampa Bay is because
Yeah.
Brady made him. You know.
Well, on top
But-
of that, the last year that Brady played in New England and did not have Gronk, they were going to trade Gronk to Detroit, so he retired.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Belichick's one of those guys that's not going to keep you around like that. I don't know that I think Andy Reid could find a place for Kelsey. if
Well,
he did it.
Gronk was all on that whole I don't want to get brain damage train as well.
Too
They had
late.
an interview with him on like Sunday morning one time.
Too late.
Too late, yeah.
Where,
He
where
did
he was
name
agreeing to the fake player.
yeah. He did name his podcast Dudes on Dudes. So, that's kind of
Do you think if they were considering trading Travis Kelsey, that Taylor Swift would be a part of the discussion?
So absolutely, yeah. So the Eagles will take Travis Kelsey, and they're trying to get definitely 5 minutes per game will
Right.
be on her face.
I mean,
Because they could get a better player than Travis Kelsey.
Travis
right?
Kelsey could end up on the. I mean, L.A. would be a great place for him.
You're
It
right.
was, I don't know where Taylor Swift calls home.
Isn't
Her
she in
and that-
Nashville? Maybe.
She's got a few places.
Well, her and that
Yeah,
private,
she's probably
I mean,
all
she's
over
got,
the place.
she's got a house in Tampa. Her dad still lives in Tampa.
Oh.
So, I don't know. I mean,
She
I
used to
don't.
be an Eagles fan. Maybe.
Well,
yeah.
let's not
Travis.
talk about Taylor Swift,
Yeah,
okay?
please. That's all I
This
can
is a
do.
sports show. We're not TMZ. So,
We've
No,
done much better this
I'm
year.
talking about the effect of Travis Kelce trading. I mean, obviously they could get a better tight end, right? But
not
would
a
you- would
better
you
tight
keep-
end than that.
Would you keep?
Glad you said that because it wouldn't sound right coming out of my mouth.
You know, and all jokes aside,
but I mean, you look at the entire picture, right? Is he good enough to stay there, and does Taylor Swift help him there?
Oh, whatever.
I mean, in all jokes aside,
They're looking for a good player.
in all
know,
jokes aside, I mean, if they end up like that 20-year run like New England, a lot of guys took pay cuts to go play for New England because they know they win a ring.
Yeah.
Randy Moss. I mean, there's more. Corey Dillon. There's a lot more than that. But you know, sometimes if the Chiefs get on this run where it's just going to be every year, there's going to be some guys that's like, you know what, I want to go chase a ring. I'm a pretty good tight end on a bat. Max, who's the guy out in the Oakland Raider, for example? They're the rookie from Georgia. Hang on, the tight end. He's going to.
Oh,
If it wasn't for Jayden Daniels, he might win Rookie of the Year. Anyway, I mean,
Yeah.
could you see him in a couple years going?
why is my brain not working
Yeah, I
on
can't
that
think of
now?
it either. I'm never going to win here, so I'll take a pay cut and go play in Kansas City for Patrick Mahomes and win a ring. I mean, that could easily happen. And Kelsey made to say, I don't need this anymore. I'm in movies now. Me and my brother's got a podcast. I got Taylor Swift.
Not as
got
good
a
as guys
game
that
show,
run in
too.
sports, of course, but you know.
Right.
No, yeah, of course not.
I think he retires if he wins this year.
I'll be
You
honest
think
with
so?
you.
I think
do.
so.
I'll be honest with you. I hope he
do.
does.
I think he does.
And takes Taylor Swift with him. That'd be
I think
awesome.
so.
That would be great for the game.
Then we get to watch Brittany Mahomes. You know, the one thing about Taylor Swift, she's taking us away from Brittany Mahomes. So maybe, you know, give and take.
What's the brother's name? Jackson.
Who cares?
Yeah. So,
We don't get him either.
I don't.
so let's talk about the refs for a second. There was a situation that happened with the Bills. They get the ball. It's a 3rd and 3, and they run it, and they get pretty much to the yard line. Right? They get
They were short of the line.
well, hold on. One of the refs came running out, and he was on one side of the line. Another ref came running out. He was on the opposite side of the line on that one, right?
That was 4th down.
That was the 4th down. Okay. The
third-
third down, you could say that he made it to the line.
I think he did.
He did. And then on the 4th down, one ref came running out on one side of the line. The other one came running out on the other side of the line. And even the announcers were like,
Two
what's
different
going
calls
on?
from two different line judges.
Yeah. The announcers were sitting there like, what's going on? We don't know where it's at. Is it first down? Is it not? And then did they review it?
They reviewed it, but here's, I mean, you know, they had Gene Sarator come on there who said, guys, it's a first down.
It's a first down.
And then
yeah.
they had the aerial view from the blimp or the drone or whatever. I mean, it showed it was a first down. The ball was clearly over. The question is, when did he blow the whistle? You know, again, I'm not going to get into it, but I just felt like that was.
Was there $100 bill slid under to somebody or what, man?
I don't know.
I mean, it seemed a little sketchy to me.
was sketchy.
Those are just bad calls. We can say
Well,
that, but you know what?
Maybe you don't know that they were.
Those were
I mean,
bad
the head
calls.
The head ref
The head ref makes a decision,
makes a decision.
but the head ref
he's got
could have
it.
been wrong.
Well,
could have.
they referred when they do that review. That goes to New York.
Yeah,
That's all. I mean, that's the NFL offices.
So what's going on in the NFL offices that two plays that were first?
Surely they have every angle, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, they don't have every single angle.
have every
They have
angle.
it
They
in
have
the
more
top.
than they have more than you do.
they
yeah,
have
for sure.
more than we see on CBS.
That's
But
right.
they had the
right.
sky cam. How did they not
right.
use
I mean,
that?
the sky cam was when Gene Sarator came on and goes,
Right.
fellas, that's a first
That's
down.
a first
And
down.
they see the
Right.
guys running on
But
the line. Judges.
Saying that, on the 3rd down play, the tight end, Kincaid, I think, he got the first down.
He got the first down.
I mean, and okay.
you look at it from even just the angles that you're seeing on TV, and you're like, yeah, that ball passes that.
But no one really cared because that happens a lot. A lot of times the guys come in, they spot the ball, they're half yard short. We live with that. That happens all the time.
The Chiefs didn't win on that play, and the Bills didn't lose on that play.
But hold on, that stopped the.
No.
That's
No.
It was
That's
there was
not the
13
drop.
minutes left in the game.
You don't win
They
or
were
lose.
up. Hold on. There was 13 minutes left in the game. They were up by 1 point at that point, and it stopped them at the 4th down. And what they were on the 50-yard line?
No, they were on the 38.
But my point is, you
On
don't.
Their own 38.
You don't-
exactly.
No, the Chiefs 30.
No, the Chiefs 30. Yeah, exactly. So that puts the Chiefs in a position. Next, what did they? That I don't think they got a
And
field goal. I
mentally
think they
that
got a
messes
touchdown
with
after
you.
that.
Yeah,
They did.
but
They did, yeah.
You don't put the whole laurels of your whole game on one play. Like, I'm winning.
In a
if I get
situation
this,
like
or I'm
that-
losing if I don't get it.
In a situation like that, it changes the it changes the dynamic of the game.
It does.
It
It
changes.
changes.
It changes. Oh, for sure.
It does. I mean,
Yeah,
it,
for sure.
Yeah, like now I know what you're saying because they
but
both
it
teams
doesn't-
scored after that.
That's right. That's right.
But it does the dynamic and what Ray, I don't forget your nickname. What Ray's saying, and I agree
Hanger,
with-
bro.
Hanger. I'm sorry.
No, I go by Ray on the show now.
Ray per.
Yeah, Ray. Anyway, what you're saying is had they gone down, let's say they scored, it would have been an 8 if they went for 2, 9-point
You
lead.
can't do that.
I know.
in sports
I know that.
because there's a million different other scenarios that the other team could say.
I know that, but at the same time, the way that drive was going, it felt like a scoring drive. Okay, it was possible.
And it,
Even if
it's-
anything's
it
possible.
deflates the guys that are losing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I mean-
even if they did not, even if they got the first down and then the next they went 3 and out after that, right? They could have punted the ball down the field, and then the Chiefs may not have scored on that next play. I mean, there's a lot. It changes the dynamic of the game.
Ton of dynamics, and
Yeah.
they might have even lost worse had they got that first down.
Or they may.
Well, that's a stretch.
Possibility,
Oh, the odds-
right?
yeah.
Tell me it couldn't happen. Tell
I
me
mean,
it couldn't happen.
I wouldn't bet on
It was
that.
a 3-point game.
You wouldn't bet on it, but
It was a
tell me that it couldn't
it was a
happen.
1-point game when that happened.
It was a
It could've
1-point
happened.
game. Yeah.
I mean,
It was
it could've been-
22-21. Look,
Yeah.
and again, I don't want to rain.
They could have thrown an interception the next play
Exactly.
and a pick six.
Exactly, but we'll never know
You'll never know.
because that play was
Because
That's
the
why you
refs
can't
made a bad call-
you
bad
can't
call.
rest your game on one call.
Yeah.
You have to play the game and you have to score more points than the other team.
They made two bad. They made a bad call there. Okay, we can all agree to disagree. The game continued on, and both teams scored. Okay, so, but that we were talking about a minute ago, the catch that wasn't
Right.
at the 1 yard line.
Yep.
That changed that big dynamic because the Chiefs scored.
The 3 points that the Chiefs put up that made them go ahead, right? So what was that? Was that
There was first
that was
off,
with like 3 minutes left, wasn't it?
no, this happened. This happened. I don't remember. It was third quarter. Mahomes awesome throw, desperate throw on 3rd down and long, and it's a tie. It looks like it's intercepted at first, but it's between Worthy and the defensive back.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't. So on a tie, we know the receiver gets it, but the problem is when they showed the other angle, the ball hit the ground.
It did hit the ground.
So, but now there was a holding, so it'd have been
Right next to his arm. So
Yeah, it was a holding, so there'd been a 15-yard first down. But the problem is they got the 15-yard first down and they counted it a catch, so that put the ball at the 1 yard line, and then the Chiefs scored a touchdown. And
Yep.
that's one of those calls where it's like, well, you gave them 7 points. I mean, you gave because it's on the 1 yard line. I mean,
It went to New York, man. It went to New York, and New York
Yeah,
was like,
that's another one.
Well,
That's another one that went to New York, and they looked at it for a long time. And Sarah Tor come on there and goes, "That's not a catch, guys." I mean, this is the guy that was like the best referee that the NFL's. I mean, I don't. Again, I'm not raining on your parade. The Chiefs are the Chiefs were the better
This
team.
is a no complaint zone.
No, I'm not.
Baby.
The Chiefs are where they're at because they deserve to be.
They deserve to be there.
What sucks is the refs take away from that, and it's
Yeah.
not. I don't hate the Chiefs. I'm mad at the NFL and the refs because they got to clean that up. It's not the Chiefs' fault. If that was the Commanders, I'd be just like you. Suck it up. Who cares? We're in the Super Bowl. Hey, my problem. That's the NFL's problem, and I understand that.
Listen, they got to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, okay? In that stand.
It's a business decision.
It's a business decision, dude. They're like, all right, we're gonna rate it a catch. We're gonna call it a catch because it's gonna help the Chiefs to get that 1 yard line to get to that touchdown. So then Taylor Swift is more likely. There's a 90% chance. Now, they're like statistically, all right, if they don't make the catch, it's like 50-50 shot. But if they make the catch, it's 90% chance that Taylor Swift will be in that booth in the Super Bowl rooting for or cheering for Kelsey.
And I'll give you this too, and this could work against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because if this is going to be talked about for 2 weeks. Now the NFL is going to be like, listen, guys, don't be so. What if there was a call that should happen that cost the Chiefs the game and they lose Super Bowl because of all this crap? I'm just saying it may. Again, this is not it ain't like the Chiefs are doing it. This is the NFL and the refs. They've got to clean that up.
They do have to clean
It's
it
just
up.
the problem
I
is the
think
Chiefs are the team of the moment. That's
They
all-
actually-
All the spotlights on the Chiefs because they're winning.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally, there's people like me that are podcasters that are sitting there clipping every single clip of every single play, analyzing it, watching for that slight face mask pull. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Like, it should have been called. It should have been called. Like, there's hundreds of
Dude,
calls
now-
per game.
Now go out on the field and try to do that at real speed. It's a different
Yeah.
game.
Well,
Yeah, and
I
these
mean,
guys are slowing it down. I had one guy, he was using he was using like, what is it, the picture, there's a program that they use for pictures, right? And he's taking stuff out, like he took a whole ref out of there, or one of the players out, and he's like, see, the ball's right there. That player, the ball was here, and he's moving across the field, and then he takes that, I mean, he was just doing all kinds of crazy
Maybe
stuff,
it's time
man.
for some AI.
Yeah, he was using AI to pull
Reffing, yeah.
refs out of the, like their players off and stuff like that. It was
and
just crazy, man.
And if you see,
But they're analyzing every single play of every game
And
for the
some
Chiefs.
things, some
only
things
right
are
now.
subjective as a ref.
Yeah.
Well, and
Some
there-
things are
there
subjective.
were a
Sometimes you
bunch of
let people play.
missed
And it goes because if you've ever been in a game before with a strict ref that calls every single foul, you're like, OMG, please stop.
See, it's
This is
so,
I was
ridiculous.
thinking about that
This
on
is
Sunday when I
ridiculous.
was watching
Please
the
stop.
Eagles. There was 2 intentional groundings, one against us, one against them, and they didn't call them. But it is a little nitpicky.
No, you don't want to nitpick every single thing for sure.
No,
but hold on. When they send it to New York, they should get it right every single
Yes.
time. If there's a missed face mask,
Yes.
like that's not something that's reviewable. But if it's reviewed, it should be right every single time, no matter what.
A hold,
Yeah.
a pass interference. It's all in the moment.
If you miss a hold,
Maybe
that's
what
not
it is-
reviewable.
Right.
Maybe what it is more transparency about what happens in New York.
That would be amazing,
right?
wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Transparency with there. So
I want
so-
cameras on that
So just show
all
what
the time.
happens there and
Yeah.
tell that process.
Well, I mean,
I think that's
yeah. The
maybe what
problem
needs
with
to
the
happen.
transparency is New York, they're only going to tell you what they want you to know. I mean,
So going to the refs, have they picked the team of refs that are calling the
Yes.
the-
Yeah.
and who's the head?
The one that's being paid by the Chiefs.
no,
Oh, I went Hotchley.
he's vacationing.
I think he's the
Patrick
one that
right
called the Commanders Lions game.
Okay.
I think. I want to say it's him that called the.
Patrick Mahomes is about to take them all on vacation for the next 2 weeks.
now. They're down
Patrick
in the
Mahomes'
Caribbean.
dad is calling the game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, can the Kansas City Chiefs can they sustain this dynasty they built?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. They're playing the game. I mean, they got a smart front office. I mean, they got Mahomes. I mean, they own. I mean, his contract.
I mean, he has been
They own him
to-
till he's like 90.
he is it's 7 years. He's been to what 5 AFC championships?
Ridiculous,
And, no,
yeah.
7 AFC championships and 5 Super Bowls in 7 years.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. He's really good.
He's only,
just- you
he's
just-
only lost to Burrow and Brady.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's insane,
He's-
man.
yeah. Guy's a winner. He is. He grinds. He really does.
I mean, the thing that's exciting. I mean, from an outside looking in, it's exciting the fact that the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs have this thing in the AFC where it's going to be those three teams for a while in the AFC. It's almost like when you had the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady going on. You know what I mean?
You're
Yep.
right.
You
That's
pretty
true.
much knew. I mean, Brady with the Broncos and Brady with the Colts, but it was
They'd be
I'm sorry,
playing. They'd be playing
Manning.
the championship game every year.
Yeah, Manning with the Broncos and Manning with the Colts. It was always. I think you're going to get a lot more of Josh Allen. Throw Joe Burrow in there. You're going to get Burrow, Mahomes. Allen. I mean, you're going to get. That's going to be fun for a while.
that is.
Yep.
But I don't see the Chiefs going anywhere. I mean, barring injury or Andy Reid retires and the front office goes somewhere, some other owner pays them so much money and draws them out of there. I don't see how it goes anywhere for a while anyway.
Andy's going nowhere.
No, he's not going anywhere. It's
I mean, eventually he's going to have to retire. I mean, he's been around for a long time. I
yeah,
mean,
he's old.
We used to own him.
I mean, he was on Bill Walsh. I think he was on Bill Walsh's staff in San Francisco. That's how long he's been around. So
Bill Walsh has been dead for a while.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As long as Mahomes stays healthy for indefinitely, and he protects himself pretty well. Like if he gets
beat
hit,
up this year, wasn't he? I feel
yeah, but he generally protects himself. He's
does.
conscious of. He's extremely conscious of it. And obviously he's
He doesn't
getting
get hit a
hit
lot.
here and there. Huh?
He doesn't get hit.
He's
a lot.
getting hit here and there, but he's not getting hit
Yep.
a lot.
Well, he
yeah.
gets touched and then he flops.
Yeah. and then the refs call it for sure. So then not even to try to tackle him. That's why the Bills did not rush the quarterback the
Right.
entire game because they knew
Don't breathe on him.
if they looked at him the wrong way, you looked at him cross-eyed, throw the flag.
That's a terrible strategy.
But there's been a couple times this year where he's gotten wrapped up on his legs, and he had a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple ankle
Oh yeah,
ankles or
you
something.
can
I
tell
mean,
he gets real uncomfortable and
So next year NFL is going to make it illegal to tackle someone below the knees. So it's nothing above the shoulders and nothing below the
When
knees.
did we become flag football?
Yeah, I know, right? That's
say that again. I'm sorry. say
okay.
that.
No more tackling below the knees.
Yeah. they're-
So if you're coming up on somebody, you can't wrap them up from the front, right, and tackle them below the knees.
I mean, they're
if you grab them by the foot and take them down from behind, that's fine.
See, this goes back to my point earlier about the
Flag football?
the tush push.
Yeah.
You're making it to where the defense cannot do anything.
Oh yeah.
They can't do nothing. You're turning this into I mean, I get it. You want offense, but
It's
mean,
very hard to tackle
it's-
somebody at this point. Next year, it will be hugely different because these guys have been doing the same
Yeah.
tackling their entire life since they were 6 years old, right?
How do you break that?
How do you
Right,
break that
you
habit?
have to
exactly.
you have to time it out. Like
Repetition
those good running
constantly.
backs are gonna have a field day.
yeah, you're gonna bring. That's nothing. You're
Oh,
bringing
my
the running
gosh.
backs
You're bringing
back to the front of the tape.
You
They
are.
have they
You
kind
are.
of went away for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to have an impact on the score? Are we going to see much higher scores? now?
Higher score.
You are definitely going to see higher scores. Yeah,
Well,
because
if you bring the running game back, those scores could be lower, right? I mean, you could run the clock out.
You could,
Yeah.
but I mean, you tackle,
Right.
you hit, you chop, you hit Saquon Barkley below the knees as he's jumping through the line. That's 15 yards.
yeah,
I'm assuming.
it's going to be 15 yards. Yeah.
The running game's kind of been disappearing from the NFL.
yeah, there. I mean,
know?
there was a
Except for the
time.
Eagles.
Except for the Eagles.
There was a time where every team had to have that one guy. They had to have that one running back.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's like that's the wide receiver, and the running backs you got Saquon Barkley and Travis or Derrick Henry,
Derrick Henry.
and then everybody else is by committee.
That's right.
Did you see Shipley on Sunday?
Oh yeah, Will Shipley.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got his
yeah.
first
Clemson boy.
touchdown.
Yep.
That was beautiful too.
So the reason why they said that they were going to be getting rid of they were going to make a new rule, which is going to be no tackles below the knees, is because whenever they stopped allowing people to lead with the head and all that, like targeting, whenever it became targeting it used to be hard to get a targeting call. Now it's like happens a couple times a game sometimes, and whenever they started doing that, that's when they started teaching the guys to go lower. Well, now they're going much lower, and now there's more ankle injuries and all ACL injuries and so forth. So now they're just trying to protect the players. But then again, at what point do we just say, you know what, screw it, let's play flag football?
You know what would Mike Ditka said it best. You want to get rid of this? Take the face mask off. Take the face mask off the helmet. And now these spears and leading with the head and going at knees, that won't happen anymore.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
You're not
back
going to
to
have your
the
face get smashed by a kneecap.
Leather helmet.
No,
Well,
I mean keep the same helmet because your head's going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Get rid of the face mask, man.
It's the rugby thing, right? Like the rugby players, they know how much they can take. They're not going to sit there and smash their. They'll smash their shoulder into somebody, but there's certain things that they do to protect themselves when they're going in.
Right, they don't have the speed impact that the NFL has. You got
Yeah.
a 250-pound linebacker going head. I mean, as fast as he can, right into a running back who's running as fast as he can.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, rugby. I don't know much about rugby. It seems like it's more of a short amount of contact.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it.
Moving. Yeah, scrums moving
It's
together.
groups of people moving in unison, and then there's the guy. They'll do these like pass back
Yeah, tosses and stuff.
tosses and stuff like that. Yeah,
And like rugby with like a motorcycle helmet. Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, and they'll never go take the face mask off. I get it, but to me that makes the most sense. I mean, because I know some guys are not going to plow anybody head first with their face mask. You know what I mean?
Yep. I've noticed NFL teams more often lately they're going for it on the fourth down.
We were the best.
Rather than getting a field goal, right? I've noticed it several times. It'll be like
Past
it'll
weekend.
it'll be 4th and 5, and they'll be on the 11-yard line, and they'll go for it. And do y'all? I mean, I was thinking about this. When you do not get that fourth down conversion, it kills morale on the sideline. It kills morale on the offense. Do you think that, and it actually boosts the defense up on the other side when they do that? Do you think that they should just go for the fucking 3 points then? Give them morale that, hey, we just worked our asses off to get down here. Let's get that 3 points on the board. Boom. Yeah, I know that there's all these, these statistics and analysis that say, you should go for it, but it kills morale if you don't get it, man. It really does. And it gives the other team that much more excitement. It gets that adrenaline flowing on their side. I say go for the 3 points and then get yourself back on the field again.
There's a couple ways to look at that. For example, Washington, for example, was the best in the league this year on fourth down. They were like 25 of 30.
They did on Sunday. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Now,
They
that-
were like on the 47-yard line.
Yeah.
Through.
Now, and you talk about morale, but they've been asked. I mean, obviously, I follow them on social media and stuff, and they get asked about that weekly about the defense saying, what do you think about the constant going for fourth down? That puts you in a bind. And they're like, we live by the sword, we die by the sword. That's how we want to play. So they understand that going in. It irritated me on that 18-play drive. We went for it 3 times and got them all 3. Yeah. And then we had another 4th down and 2, and we kicked the field goal. I'm like, why are you kicking it now? It didn't make sense, but would that have mattered? No. But, I mean, looking back on it, I'm one of those people that, because my team did a good job with it, I understand why they do it. But there are times where you get frustrated watching, especially in college, where you're watching games like, man, just take the 3 points. Just take the point. It's the first quarter. Take the points,
Yeah, you can only be wrong in hindsight.
Yeah, it's like going for 2. It's I equate that teams who go for 2. The Bills did this. They were chasing points in the second quarter. Like, why are you chasing points?
Right.
Just get. By the way, the score would have been 24-21 instead of 22-21 had during that the questionable call about whether Josh Allen got the first down. That's a big. That may have changed. That may have changed the Bills' game plan. They may have punted it there. They may have pooch punted, get the field goal.
Yeah, it would have been blocked.
The Commanders did the same thing in the first half. They went for 2 points. I mean, why are you going for 2 points now?
Did you just snort?
Yeah,
He did.
He just totally
I made
snorted.
myself snort.
Yeah,
That's hilarious, man.
I would like to see teams go for the point.
That is actually going to be on our little highlight reel.
We-
Oh,
It was
Lord.
Every time we
He's,
talk
uh,
about a ref, we're going
he
to
was like, "What if it was a
Do
punt?"
you know what he's doing? He's practicing for when this Chiefs dynasty's over and the Commanders dynasty comes along. He can be part of the Hogs, and he's going to be this big Commanders fan. And
He's
like,
definitely going to be a Commanders fan whenever they.
I was always a Commanders.
He was a
fan growing
Patriots
up.
fan.
Yeah, you were.
He was a Patriots fan from 2000
Yeah.
on.
He was a huge 49ers fan.
Hey.
Then he Cowboys for a
Hey,
little
do
bit.
you know who my favorite running back is?
John Riggins.
John Riggins.
Yeah.
There was one year early 2000s. He was like a Tampa Bay fan for like a year.
There was a 3-year run where Tampa Bay got real popular.
Doug Williams.
they did.
Doug Williams is my favorite quarterback.
No, he's not.
I do remember when, so in Florida, nobody was a Tampa Bay fan back in the day, right? And then all of a sudden, like 1999, 2000, it's like you see, as soon as they changed that uniform, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the uniform looked great,
The Yucks.
and they started playing well. They had a good offense, they had a good defense go. They had a really great defense going. You know?
yeah, they did.
Sapp
John
and all
Gruden,
them, yeah.
John Gruden got traded there.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, you see a lot of Tampa Bay fans, man. So
I'm buying a Commander shirt.
yeah, I think you should.
Well, hey,
yeah,
get
man.
ready. Hey, we got
Get
room.
ready, yeah.
And they might change the name.
We got room for you
Yeah,
on the
don't do it,
bandwagon. We got room for you on the
Hey,
bandwagon.
they're a fun team to watch. They are.
They are.
On Sunday.
So if I had to ask you, what NFL's team surprised you the most this season? Are you going to say that your Commanders surprised you the most this
Well,
season?
I'm gonna put them to the side because obviously they surprised me. But the other team that surprised me this year really was Houston Texans, and this is the reason why. Because last year they were surprised of their own with Stroud. I thought they would be that sophomore slump. I thought maybe they were a little overrated. I thought that they were just as good this year as they were last year with really devastating injuries to their offense.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, they played the Chiefs in the divisional round of the playoffs. So I put them outside the Commanders because of that.
they held their own too a little bit, right?
Yeah, we can talk about a few calls in that one too. But yes, they held their own in that one. Yeah, they sure did.
Yep. And Cheeks, what team surprised you the most this year?
I had the Commanders and the Lions.
The Commanders and the Lions?
The Commanders, all positive.
I thought the Lions would be fine anyway. Didn't we think they were going to win the Super Bowl?
The Lions surprised me in two ways. One
Okay.
is I thought they did an amazing season, and then I was shocked that they lost to the Commanders. I'm sorry. But I really thought that they were superior to the Commanders.
Well, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, that game was a bad. I said it 2 weeks ago. Even though I said I thought the Lions was going to kill them, that it was potentially a bad matchup for Detroit, and it was a bad matchup for them.
Yeah.
It just didn't line up right for Detroit.
Chopper, you got a team that surprised you the most this season in the NFL?
You know,
The Chiefs surprised you by being so good?
they actually, what surprised me was that they were not that good this year, and they did very well.
Yeah.
Right? 2 losses, really 1 loss, but they didn't play that well this season. They really didn't.
yeah,
But
defense
they were
held
just
their own.
barely winning games.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to
So-
win a block kick and
So yeah,
Well, and they came
did.
this close to losing to the Raiders.
I know.
and the Panthers.
I know.
Luckily, they got
Thank God
those.
their coaches called.
So
Good thing they got those refs.
So I mean, it's a pretty surprising season, and then my Commanders,
Michael.
Your Commander. He's slowly transitioning. See that?
He's smart.
we're pretty amazing,
Yeah.
We got room for you. I got room for you on the bandwagon.
You know what? What surprised me the most is how well Joe Burrow did this season. The numbers are amazing, and that team was just a flop overall.
Yeah.
They started out poor.
Yeah.
No, they dug a hole so deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had his stats were really nice this season.
You know who he?
Is he the next Dan Marino?
I was getting ready to say.
Were you going to say that? Shit.
I was going to say
All right.
second year in the league, went to Super Bowl. Marino, second year in the league, went to Super Bowl, and then put up god awful numbers.
Yeah.
And never could get
Never could get it back.
the team around him. Just wasn't.
Yeah.
There was always something missing from Marino, and Burrow. I don't know, man.
How
I
are we
hope
thinking?
not.
How are we thinking the same exact thing, man? That's crazy. Okay.
Seriously, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Yep. The next Dan Marino, Joe Burrow. I'm sorry to say it, man, because he has so much talent. I loved him in college football too, but
I hope that's not the case. I
Yeah.
really hope that Bengals figured out he can.
another team surprised me. 5-12 last season was the Chargers, and this year they went 11-6 under our boy Jim Harbaugh from the Michigan Wolverines. Right? Well, not our boy, but
Yeah, but you're right. They had a big turnaround. But
yeah, they sure did.
boy, when they got in the playoffs, they looked like the same old Chargers.
Yeah.
Just
They tanked.
They were in untraveled territory compared to the season before, though.
yeah, but
To be 11-6, be in the playoffs.
yeah, no, look,
First year as a coach.
Yeah.
Usually NFL or usually college coaches when they go from college to NFL, not too satisfying. Not too good. Let's just say that.
yeah, but he's a different story. I mean,
Well, he was in the NFL too, right?
from college,
Yeah.
so he's had success both ways. Jimmy Johnson's the only other guy I can think of that really went from college to pro and really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, Pete Carroll maybe.
Yeah, but he was the Patriots and Jets first before he went to USC. So
Speaking of Pete Carroll, where's he going?
the Raiders, right?
Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's. a
Yeah, I
Raider.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Don't laugh.
I tell you, the Raiders are going to be a lot better. They're going to be.
Yeah, because Tom Brady has something to say.
yeah, he made that hire. Actually, I think.
so Belichick's,
I think he did too.
Belichick's going in North Carolina, as we know. They're changing their field to grass fields now. because
All because Belichick said so?
he said so. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Wow.
make-
All that
yeah.
money. It's not cheap.
Damn.
But speaking of transitions from college or NFL to college, but I don't know. It's totally a different beast when you're coaching college versus coaching the NFL, but it's becoming more and more similar, I'm sure, with the way that the money is now
Yeah.
and stuff. So
He's going to run it like a pro team, I think, right?
yeah. And I mean, that's a good transition for that particular school and maybe even for the ACC to be moving towards that pro style.
I just don't think he's going to do well there.
Yeah. Do y'all like the new kickoff rules for the NFL?
No.
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 It looks so weird, doesn't it? Drives me crazy every time I see it.
You know that
It's safer. It's safer.
at the owners meeting.
While they're not tackling above the shoulders or below the
Or
knees.
So
hit him in the belly only.
No, it's got to be at the hips. But if there's too many hip injuries,
you can't use your hands. You got to use your forearm.
yeah.
Just hug.
If two people get their hands on you at one time, you're down.
Yeah,
or
personal
something
foul,
like that.
15 yards.
Yeah.
I did also see that I know this is something Mike Tomlin's been trying to get pushed through for a while. I think it's a good idea. They're wanting to get rid of the onside kick altogether, but they're wanting to give the team an opportunity to do 1 4th and 15.
1 4th and 5th. Oh yeah, so that's going to be a rule that they're talking about this year as
They're
well.
saying
instead of an onside
they're saying
kick.
4th and 10, but I think it needs to be 4th. Here's why I don't like. I know it's 5 yards, but I could see some. I think I might have talked to you about this. Somebody could just chuck it up, and get that pass interference call. You know what I mean?
Correct.
4th and 15. You have to design a play for that.
You do.
So, and I think there's only stipulations when you can use it. It can only be in like the last 5 minutes of the game. You can't do it as a sneak attack. There's a lot of stipulations to it. I think it's a good idea because the onside kick is just they've diluted it so much it never.
It works.
No, not anymore. They got rid of the way it used to be.
There were several college football games this year that turned on an onside kick.
College still does onside the way.
No, I know, yeah.
But the NFL does
The
not.
NFL put too many.
You have to announce it ahead of time, right?
You have to
Yep.
announce it ahead of
Yep.
time, and then you can't overload one side, and you literally have to wait until it goes 10 yards before you can react to the ball. It used to be you could go chase it, you just couldn't touch it for 10 yards. Now you just sit there. That's impossible. That is impossible.
Right.
They need to take the NFL and put it into like some country there. They don't have, there's not so many lawyers.
There's so many restrictions.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, you laugh. Guess what college football is going to have here real soon? Collective bargaining, which means they're going to probably have a union, which we're going to have a whole bunch of that crap in college football too.
Yeah. You know what the conversation is right now about college football and the rules that they're trying to figure out? The only thing they're talking about is how we're going to make the playoff system work better. And that's it. No rules regarding anything for the players or nothing right now.
No, only thing they need to change the playoffs is get rid of the automatic bye and then just keep on. This was the first year.
No, hold on. That's the only thing that's on the table right now.
Good.
When I was reading an article on that the other day, and they were saying that there's like 6 or 7 suggestions that they're throwing out there, but the only one that's being taken seriously right now is getting rid of the automatic bye for the conference champion.
Yeah,
and that's it. But the only reason why they're keeping it is because you got to make those conference championship games worth a crap because the conferences are going to dilute the conference championship.
Well, you still, if you win your conference championship, you get a home game in the playoff. That should be a perk.
but not an automatic bye.
Like say the Big 12 champion. Right now the Big 12's down. If they're the champion and they're not one of the best 4 teams, they shouldn't get a bye. They should get a home field game though.
Just one home field game, or
Well, that's the first round's the only one that gets a home game. Then everything else.
That's true. Good point. Okay, yeah.
So for the
so that makes it valuable to the team to win.
4 conference.
Okay.
Yeah, because SEC and Big 10 are going to take 2 of those slots, or maybe all 4 of them if they're the best 4 teams.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a Georgia Alabama again, and they're like both of them are 11-1. And they play each other in the championship, and they're probably 1-3 or 2-4.
Yep.
So that's fine. But the conference championship should matter as long as the team gets to play at home for the playoff.
14 team playoff is being having conversations about right now as well with the committees.
I'm sure that's stupid.
You want to know what's crazy? Notre Dame. So all of the conferences have their people at the table. Notre Dame has their own person at the table as well. So if you are Mississippi State, you're the commissioner that's in charge or one of the people that's representing the SEC.
Yeah.
Mississippi State, you're representing the SEC. Notre Dame has their person just representing them.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't have a division.
But Notre Dame,
That's a lot of power, man.
Yeah.
they carry a
I don't know how many people are voting for that, but if there's 10 people voting and they have 10% of the vote right there.
Well, think about this. NBC and Peacock paid a lot of money to get the Big 10 games. They're still paying Notre Dame for their games. Mm-hmm. And Notre Dame gets to collect every cent of that, whereas the Big 10 has to spread that over 16 teams.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty
they've
sweet.
got a lot of power, man. They got the almighty
That's
dollar.
why they have the coolest helmets.
Oh, yeah. So is anyone watching the Pro Bowl this weekend? Flag football?
I do every year.
Do you really?
I do. The flag
Seems laughable.
The
with me,
flag
man.
football is very laughable, and that's why they have the Manning brothers coaching the teams.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, they've had them for, was it 2 or 3 years that we've
I have not watched
Is
this.
it in Hawaii?
It's always in Hawaii, right?
No, it's in Orlando.
It hasn't been in
Orlando.
Hawaii in years.
Oh, has it?
I think
Okay.
it's in Orlando.
That's the
again
last
this
time I
year.
watched it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. When they took the true Pro Bowl away, everything moved out of Hawaii.
No, they were just doing like a ropes course basically for a while, right, or something.
So they do something like they used to have on ABC, where it's like all the movie stars and TV stars doing stupid things like running track and all that and tugging things. So that's what they do. They have.
Who wants to watch that on TV?
So
That's so
they have
ridiculous.
this thing with weights where they have to put all these weights on this long arm, and then 4 guys have to push it across the ground.
That's so dumb.
They should bring back, if you remember the week of the Pro Bowl when we were kids, when it was in Hawaii, they had the quarterback challenge. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I love the quarterback.
That was
challenge.
they should bring that back, bring back the running back, bring a running back.
Well, they
challenge.
do kind of have something like that. So last year they had hiking the ball, and you had to get it in 1 of 3 holes.
That's fine for long. I mean, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was great, except for we found out Jason Kelsey sucked
like-
at it.
That's like what you do at a kid's birthday party.
yeah.
Like ridiculous. I'm not
Kind of
gonna.
felt like that. And
yeah.
everybody had their kids running around.
I would
Some
love to see.
pinatas.
yeah, they missed that.
Yeah, I would love to see the quarterback challenge come back with the golf carts, the bullseyes driving across each other.
I love that.
That was
yeah.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Well,
and it's
I
every
enjoyed watching
but back then it was every quarterback because the Pro Bowl was after the Super Bowl. Now it's before. So
Yeah.
you got Mahomes and Hurts wouldn't be in it. You know,
That's correct. And then they even had stunts on the water, like water skiing and the best toss, and like what?
oh my god. See, that's just stupid.
It was stupid, but I watch it every year just because it is stupid.
It's something to watch. But
Yeah,
is it all weekend or just Sunday?
it's just Sunday. Well, they do things all weekend, but you see it on
they
Sunday.
play the flag football game on Sunday, don't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you have like linemen blocking and stuff, or what?
And everybody got mad at Josh Allen last year for faking an injury and going and playing in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be there
don't blame him.
either.
yeah.
That actually sounds like more.
You know
fun.
what? Season's over. I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to the Virgin Islands or something, right?
Bravo.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
come on, man. Okay, so college basketball
Yeah.
coming up this weekend, man. There's some. I mean, not this weekend. It's going on, but like, dude, I'm looking at Tennessee. They got a gauntlet coming up this week, man. They got to play Kentucky, and then they got a rematch against Florida, and they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder against Florida when they lost by 30 points last game. Tennessee, what are they ranked number 2 right now?
No. They just lost to the number 1 team. this
They're
past
number
weekend.
8,
They're number 8. Okay,
and they're losing to number 12 Kentucky with 7 minutes
right now. Okay,
at home.
yeah. So, what were you saying? They're not as good as people think they are.
I don't. They look as much as I paid attention to it early on, and mainly because West Virginia was good early on.
Yeah, I'm just starting to pay more attention to
But
it now for the last couple.
They
weeks.
seem to come out in the preseason tournaments and they played really well, but now that they've gotten to the heart of the SEC schedule, they have not looked as. I mean, you cannot go to Florida and get beat by 30 points and tell me you're the number 1 team in the country. Can't do it. I mean, and when they're playing like Kentucky, Auburn, Florida, they're not winning.
Yeah, they got to play Alabama soon as well.
Yeah,
Alabama,
they're good too. Yeah,
Alabama's schedule. They're ranked 4th right now, right? So Alabama's coming up on 7 games in a row. Check this out. They got to play. It's all 7 games in a row to close their season out are going to be top 20 opponents. You got Auburn 2 times. They got to play them. You got to play Florida. You got to play Tennessee. You got to play Mississippi State, Missouri, and Kentucky. All of them are in the top 20. And that's how they're going to close out their season, February into March.
and then they got the
That's
SEC
rough.
tournament.
And then they got the SEC tournament.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh man.
Well, hey,
That is a gauntlet of a schedule for Alabama. If they
Absolutely.
survive that,
they're going to be dangerous in the
they're
tournament,
going to be dangerous because they're going to be on their P's and Q's going into the SEC tournament,
or they'll be wore out.
or they'll be wore out. Yeah,
One or two.
I'm voting for 2.
yeah, they'll be
They
crazy.
were in the
man.
Final Four last year, right?
They were in the Final Four last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, they're just as good this year, man.
They got a good coach down there.
Yep. I mean, if I'm excited about what Florida's doing right now, but I'm sure you're excited about what Auburn's doing right now.
Absolutely.
But
Well, you all, I mean, I'm telling
Number
you, man.
1, baby.
You guys, to me, Auburn, Florida, Duke,
Duke's really good.
Houston. That's probably your 4 best teams right now.
Yeah, Iowa State. I don't know why they're ranked number 3.
I mean,
they
they're good- they're
they
good
do
too.
have 3 really good players on that team.
They're good.
They did lose to Arizona the other day. Arizona, I mean, they're a team that could.
They
beat
lost to West Virginia. Now, by the way, I'll give you a little trivia. Who has the most top 10 wins this season?
West Virginia.
West Virginia?
Yeah, that's right, baby.
I felt
Mountain
set up
Mama.
for that.
Damn.
West Virginia has the most top 10 wins this season. so far.
Exciting, man. We're going to talk a little bit more about college basketball in the next coming weeks, okay? I didn't want to get too deep into it now because we're already an hour in. So I did want to ask one more question to everybody. XFL is coming up in the end of March. Are you guys excited? It's now
No,
called
because it's called the UFL.
It's called the UFL now. Yeah, they merged. The
Awful.
AFL and the XFL merged to become the UFL, which is the United Football League. So, is anyone excited about watching this? Now, this is the deal this year for them. They have a contract with ABC, Fox, and
There's 5 networks.
CBS.
Yeah.
So, they have 5 networks. So you research this.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so they
ESPN, ESPN2.
into the microphone, cheeks.
I need glasses.
Yeah, ESPN, ESPN2. They also have Fox Sports Networks.
One, yeah, both of the networks. ABC.
BBD.
Bill.
Yeah, so they do, and they're gonna be playing on Friday nights, which Friday night primetime football. There's not a lot of TV watching going on Friday nights as it is.
So true.
And
But
college basketball they're going to be competing with college basketball going in the end of March as well.
I'm gonna say-
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to do anything that weekend.
there are
Holy crap! What a dumb time to start playing that.
There are-
Starting your season,
yeah,
man.
there are 3 Fridays. The first 3 Fridays of March is you're just not gonna win that because you got the conference.
holy
They're not
crap.
Playing, they're not playing those days.
No, they're doing the-
They don't
Masters
start
will
until
be in-
March the
The
28th.
Masters will be in April.
So
Yeah.
Oh, so then then they got.
They start late in the season. Yeah,
they're starting
And they
late.
go to
Yeah, so
June.
there's 2 weeks. There's 2
Oh my God,
weekends
June?
after.
they go to June. Yeah, the
Jeez,
final games.
10
in
games.
June, yeah.
Yeah, 10 games, and then the conference champions or the two best in the conferences play each other, and then
Yeah.
How many-
whoever wins those.
How many teams are in it? 8?
Total of 8. So it's the best of 4 and the best of 4.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be like Canada. They got like 7, I think. They play 30 games or something crazy.
The thing I'm excited about is,
We're gonna be talking about the guys on Bar Talking Sports at that point, man.
but I
got it
think-
on my list. All right, we're gonna talk about it every week.
I think they still get
Kidding.
dangerous. The things that are being restricted in the NFL, I don't think they've started restricting them in the UFL.
Oh, that's me.
They can't. I mean, they've got to be a little different than the NFL.
Yeah, they
Right.
should be wearing spikes on their shoulder pads.
That'd be awesome.
You know,
Like the
Make it
running man.
Yeah, the running man. Exactly. That's how they should be doing it. I mean, they need to really distinguish themselves from the rest of the crowd. for
I mean,
sure.
the original XFL, the original like Vince McMahon. Original,
No, they made it exciting-ish.
and the NFL stole some stuff from them.
You're right.
I mean,
Those cameras that fly all over
stuff,
the-
yeah, they did it. I mean, there's a couple other things. I think there's a couple of rule changes they did too.
Yeah, there was a few things that they stole. So, the last question I have for y'all is what the fuck? What the fuck, Cheeks? Cheeks always got some good what the fuzz.
I've got 2, and I don't know which one to do.
Well, you could do both. How does that sound? Or you can give one to Chopper over there if he needs one.
I already have mine.
What the fuck, Chopper?
What the fuck?
Yeah, you do your
All
first.
these people that saying they're not going to watch the Super Bowl, wow.
Yeah, read. Oh, hold on,
What
hold
the
on.
fuck? You know you're going to watch the Super Bowl.
They're gonna watch.
You know
the Super
you
Bowl.
are.
They are certainly going to watch the Super Bowl. They're gonna watch the Super Bowl. They're gonna sit there and do this.
You know,
You know that
you're going to watch the Super Bowl.
one of the people
You're
that's
what else are you going to watch?
I'm going to a party. You whine me with my own whine. Yeah, I'm going to a party. Doesn't mean I'll be watching. I'll be going out there the whole
what
time.
kind of party are you going to?
Oh,
A party on the day of the Super Bowl.
a pineapple.
A Super Bowl party?
it's an upside down pineapple party.
I don't. I cannot say that. I don't know what it's called. It's at some folks' house, and there happens to be a game on.
I'm going to that party too, man.
yeah.
Will there be
I'm kidding.
Will there be
Going to
Super
Alexander's.
Bowl on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yes.
I think they'll probably have it on one of the TVs. I'm hoping they'll have the bowling on a channel, and
I
you know
don't
maybe
think they will.
maybe something on Hallmark.
Hopefully Hallmark Channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are gonna cry about it. They'll watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, the
If
trick-
it's not
hey.
for the Super Bowl, if it's not
Hey.
for Kendrick Lamar,
You-
they will
but you have
definitely
the
watch it just for that.
Opportunity to witness history.
oh come
A
on,
repeat. Who's ever done that?
That is
Nobody.
that is historic.
That's history. That's historic.
That's been done
You
back in
can
the 50s.
say
it counts.
you can say
Counts.
that you saw it.
I hope the
You
Eagles
were
pony
here
up
to
more
see
money
it.
to the refs.
Or I can say, I didn't see it. 'cause I went to a party and there was a game on. I was socializing. And every now and then I looked up and saw a referee throw a phantom flag, and I didn't pay attention. So people are saying they're not going to watch it, but it will be. It'll be one of the highest.
Listen to him crying, man.
I can't believe you're using my own soundbite against me.
That's my what the foo.
Thank God I did Fly Eagles Fly.
Yeah, thank
You know
God.
you're going to watch the game.
Please use that against him.
You know you're going to eat chicken wings and watch the game.
Huh?
You know you're going to eat chicken wings.
Some Eagle wings.
Sour Patch Kids. and
You can't,
watch the game.
you can't be eating eagle. That's against the law.
Right.
Chicken
Exactly.
wings.
Cheeks, what do you got for me? What the fuck, Cheeks?
So everybody knows Mixon from the Texans, and I don't know if you guys heard, but he got fined $25,000 for something he didn't say.
What's that?
He got attributed to something someone else said, which was about the refs. He was complaining about the refs, and it wasn't even him. It was, and I cannot pronounce this guy's name. Right. It was, say this guy's name.
TJ Hushmazada.
Thank you. I can't ever.
TJ Husmazada.
Yeah. He wrote on social media, these officials are trash and biased. And that's what he got fined for. And it wasn't even Mixon that said it. And so when Mixon called it out on social media, I'm getting fined for something I didn't even do. Then they fined him again.
That's just crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's what happens when you go against the man.
You got what the fuck over there?
He didn't go against
Mountain
me.
Mama? Jamma Jamma?
I guess not necessarily what the fuck, but I mean, Ohio State lost their defensive coordinator to Penn State.
Penn State, yeah, that's insane, isn't it? You gotta protect those defensive coordinators from going to your competition.
We might be in a new.
How much do you want? How much do you want?
You know, shit. We might be in a new age of like the Cliff Kingsbury and stuff. Like it's such a great job to make $2 or $3 million being a coordinator versus being the head coach. I'll just pimp myself out to be a coordinator. Whoever's got the highest bidder.
Yeah,
I was shocked that he left
$4
Ohio
million.
State.
They say he can make $5 million if he plays his cards right.
That's more than a lot of head coaches make.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Look, I don't know. I'm sure Ohio State has a guy in the waiting that's just going to pick up and keep on doing it. But that's a big get for Penn State. So
That is a huge get for Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State's probably happy. They're throwing out a bunch of – the fans are definitely happy, I'm sure, to get someone from Ohio State to come over there and
that's
coach
a shame.
for them.
The shame James Franklin's still the head coach, though.
Yeah. Now he's got a better chance of going all the way.
Listen, they're willing to put their money – they're willing to put their money where their mouth is, right, and get to the next step because they've made it to the Final Four. It's like, they looked at their current situation. They said, what do we have to do next year to get to the next level?
You got to beat Ohio State.
You got to beat Ohio State. So let's go. Next thing you know, their quarterback's going to go in there too, or some shit. But anyway.
But let's be for real. James
Drew Allers, I think, will
Franklin,
still be there.
doesn't he have a problem with a lot of his coaches? Like, didn't he clean house and bring in a bunch of new people because they disagreed with him?
Last year, he brought in some new. He brought in Andy Kolanecki, who's his offensive coordinator, who was sought after. And then now,
But you have to. They're willing to spend the money to get to the next level,
But did he have anything to do with this? Or
I have a feeling the administration has.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's probably going to. Yeah, he's probably like, you know what, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna wear your glasses, wear your headset, you're gonna do the interviews, but we're gonna start picking the coaches.
Yes,
this is
I think that's exactly what happened.
Penn State has talent, and again, they're in the final. I know you don't want to go all night here, but they made the Final Four because they had an easy path.
Yeah,
they had a very easy path.
Yeah,
SMU and Boise State. I'm glad they should have been in the playoff. They deserved to be in the playoff, but getting those teams back to back like that was a cakewalk for them.
Well, you play the cards that are handed to you,
and
man.
Wonderfully, it got them to the Final Four, and
then they lost.
And they lost when they played so good.
But now that's what it comes down to. They're putting their money where their mouth is. How do we get to the next step? Get the right defensive coordinator in there. We got the right offensive coordinator in there. Boom. Next thing you know, we're winning things. So hey, thanks everybody for listening to the Guys at the Bar Talking
Sports.
See ya.